If the job of government is to reassure a nervous public when things are difficult, then this is what the response looks like after Manchester. Around 1,000 soldiers to start with, just in London. But more will follow, and it marks a big change in policing and in crisis response.
Just move back there, please, sir.
Troops were deployed during the London Olympics, when the security company G4S failed in its remit to provide enough security staff, but the soldiers were unarmed. There have been occasional incidents, as in 2003, when the then Prime Minister Tony Blair deployed armoured vehicles around London's main airport, but that was a specific location and a specific threat to bring down a plane. But now, says the government, the threat is more widespread due to the emergence of ISIL and its methods.
Daesh or ISIS really want to commit these terrorist acts and are constantly trying to radicalise people, British-born people, to make sure that they do take up arms against us.
A cursory look around a central London street demonstrates what the government is worried about. Any of these places might be at risk. It's impossible to guard everything. In Manchester, it was children at a concert. The fear among the security services is that it could just as well be anywhere where families gather or large crowds of people. And so the logic is to put soldiers at the obvious targets, freeing up the police to be much more mobile. But will it work? In France, where the state of emergency is continually extended, troops are visible everywhere. But it's patently failed to stop attacks, and on occasion soldiers themselves have been the targets. Still, with summer approaching, there will be major sporting, music and arts festivals in London and around the country. That is likely to be where the soldiers will be placed.
There'll be major events taking place in London. Chelsea Flower Show taking place now, the FA Cup final this weekend, the Rugby Premiership final this weekend, and other events over the course of the next few days and weeks. Our security experts are advising the organisers and the host how to make sure those events are done as safely as possible. People will see additional police officers, people will see additional armed officers, and people may well see military personnel at some of these events.
The sight of heavily armed police at transport hubs and elsewhere has become something people in London in particular have got used to. The government promises soldiers will only be visible in certain places and for a limited period. But that, of course, depends on events. Laurence Lee, Al Jazeera, London.